Welcome to another edition of Plugged In. I'm Dawn Ostrem. What's been going on in the East Kootenays lately? Well, the Mount Baker Drama Club's production of A Mid Summer Nites Dream, Grizzly Bear Forum at the Prestige, and talking mainly about the grizzly bear population. We'll have a look at how the Creston Valley Trade Fair went, and say goodbye to the Kootenay Ice until next season at the Ice Season Ender. Stick around, it's going to be a great show.
Alright, it was a play written by Shakespeare way back when, and it's a comedy, which was one of his few. It basically takes part with a lot of fairies and things like that, and we changed it around so that it has a hockey theme. Our students that are doing it this year are doing a wonderful job of it. A lot of them it's their first time acting, and we're quite impressed with the results. You can get your tickets at the Ticket Wicket, and the shows are from the 5th to the 8th of May, and the cost is $8 for adults and $5 for students, so please come out and enjoy the show. Alright, well, our main actors are Lysel Dreger, who plays Demetrius, which is kind of a comical character. He's fighting with Martin Lindquist over this lovely lady, who is going to be played by Chelsea. Last name I don't remember. And basically the characters are, one's father wants him to marry the daughter, and this other guy is in love with her, and it's this whole like love triangle thing, and they play it quite well. And then with our fairies, we have one of our favorite actors, which is Jeremy Raymond, and he plays Bottom, which is a very comical character who is seduced by a few fairies in order to kind of have a relationship with another one. So it's coming together quite well, and you'll probably see an interview with him later, and I hope you enjoy it.
I'm Oberon, I'm the Fairy King, so like most of my parts, I'm actually the main guy. Like I move everything around, but like they don't show me as much. I'm just sort of like the key figure and everything. So like my messenger Puck, all the things I say, basically he screws up and gets everything going.
Well, I'm just like Oberon's henchman kind of guy, and like he tells me to do all these things, and I go and like try to do them, and then I get them all wrong, and then everything goes all crazy, and then stuff like that.
When thou wakest, thou takest true delight in the sight of thy former lady's eye, and the country proverb known that every man should take his own.
Well, a bunch of arena workers get together to put on a play for Don Cherry's wedding. And we have a Zamboni driver, a beer vendor, a hot dog vendor, a scorekeeper, and such. Well, the Puck puts love juice in Titania's eyes, so she falls in love with the first thing she sees, which is me. So she sees me and falls in love with me, and gets all her fairies to do stuff for me, which is pretty cool.
Well, I'm the leader of the fairies, and I'm very passionate and eccentric and seductive, and I seduce Jeremy Raymond, who's Bottom in the play, and get hypnotized. It's a lot of fun to play.
Well, Lysander is, in this play, a Swedish import hockey player, and
Shakespearean hockey player
who faces issues of, well, romance and difficulties with figuring out how his love life should be and what he wants. He's confused.
I'm playing Hermia. She's just kind of like a ditzy puck bunny, I guess. She kind of gets ditched, but in the end regains her love. And thy love. Just a touching love story. We're not so much a part of the play within the play. We're more part of the confusion that takes place in the play through the lover remedy and the mix-up of who loves who sort of thing.
Yeah, we have the magical people of the woods who have these plots to hook people up with each other, you know, do the matchmaker thing, and their plans get messed up.
Whether it be purposeful or not, they sort of screw everything up.
And then we end up being the butt end of their mistake, and so the four lovers have their issues of confusion and wanting someone else and hating,
heartbreak.
yeah, and ditching each other. And stuff.
I get ditched.
Out! Tawny Tartar, out! Out! Loathed medicine! Hated potion hence!
Do you not jest? Yes, Susan, so do you.
Demetrius, I will keep my word with thee. I would I had your bond, for I perceive a weak bond holds you. I'll trust not your word. What? Should I hurt her? Strike her? Kill her dead? Although I hate her, I would not harm her so.
What? Can you do me greater harm than hate?
Okay.
Hate me? Wherefore? Only what news, my love? Am I not Hermia, or not you, Lysander? I am as fair now as I was erewhile, since night you loved me. Yet, since night you left me. Oh, then why you left me, the gods forbid, in earnest shall I say?
Aye.
What happens when bear populations reach maximum? There's actually three different aspects to the answer. The first part is biological. The second part of the answer relates to human-bear conflict. And the third part relates to economics, because managing bears from maximum phase is something really new. For a very long time, we have either deliberately or accidentally suppressed bear populations. When I first moved to Bellicoo Valley, grizzly bears there were a lot less of them. They were almost completely nocturnal, and they were afraid of people. What happened after years of protection, and I was involved in some of these things to protect bears, I saw something significantly different. I saw bears change as the population came up to a point where they were no longer afraid of people. What I also discovered was that a lot of the research that was done on bears by biologists was on bears that had modified behavior, bears that were nocturnal and shy, and this view was put out to the public that this is natural grizzly bear behavior. It is not. When I went into the Kimsquit Valley in the early 70s and saw bears that had not seen humans for over 20 years, I discovered that they were not like the bears in Bellicoo Valley. I discovered that those bears are day-active, bold, and in general not afraid of people. And this, of course, is very controversial. When I expressed those views in my first book, it was not well received by the biological community. When a bear population reaches maximum from a biological point of view, certain factors kick in that relate to population regulation. There's a mechanism in all predators where when populations get to a certain point, they start killing each other. You've all seen these shows that show African lions where the males, when they dispose the old males and take over pride, they kill all the cubs. It varies in predators, but with bears, what seems to be going on is that these large dominant breeding males kill cubs, subadults, and sometimes complete families. When a population reaches maximum phase, there is a significant amount of this taking place. If a population is suppressed by 25%, there isn't much of it taking place. And this was kind of confirmed in a research project we did in the Atnarco River in Bellicoo Valley, even though the biologists disagreed with my interpretation of it. But in the camera work between 93 and 94, we saw most of our cubs disappear, and there were 7 large boars in those pictures. So what I'm saying to you is that if you don't take bears through hunting, there's a natural mechanism there that when it reaches maximum phase, a limitation starts to take place that keeps those bears to a certain level. It's not some magic perfect system, but you just end up, now this might be hard for some of you to believe, but you actually end up with a situation where there are more bears killing each other than bears killed by humans.
I'm going to stop there, but with this one comment. In the last 6 months, we've been the subject of a campaign by EIA, the Environmental Investigation Agency. They come out of London, England. In September of last year, they announced that they were going to target the grizzly bear. That was the animal that they said was endangered worldwide, and they had to, out of London, England, they had to save it. Well, when you pull up these birds on their website, you'll take a look at the critters that they've been attempting to save, and it's very, very interesting. It's the rhinos, the tigers, the elephants. Well, it's interesting that here's what's happened. EIA has a multi-million-dollar a year budget. They have picked the grizzly bear purely and simply for its fundraising potential. If they really wanted to pick something that is on the endangered list, hell, they could have picked the Vancouver Island marmot. But you see, that doesn't sell well in the international community. What sells is the icon, the grizzly bear that this government has made. And so they've come along, and they're sort of like the cowboys on the white horses. They're going to save the grizzly bear, even though it's doing quite well, thank you very much, without them. This is part of what's prompted the government to be very, very nervous and to adopt what I call this sky is falling approach when it comes to grizzly bear management in British Columbia. Thanks very much.
Standing here with the big chief himself, Ed George. Ed, you are the coordinator for this phenomenal trade show that's going on right now down here at the Recreation Center.
Yes, I am. It's my first year running it. I wanted to give it a whole new, exciting look. We've got this thing called the Whirlwind. What it is a...
Move over here so the ones, and then you stand in front of it.
Okay, it's a novel way of giving out prizes. You know, typical trade shows have draws, but I wanted to give it a new approach to winning. And we've had about 6 or 7 people go into it today. We'll have about 10 or 12 more tomorrow. Every hour or so, a little bit less, we're going to have somebody go into this thing. What it is well, it's right here.
Can we have a demonstration on it, or we have a volunteer? We have a volunteer in the crowd.
Ah, there he is. Okay, what we do is we select a person to go into this thing from the ballot box that's up in the front. If you want to step inside here. And then we lock him in and suck all the air out of it. No. Okay.
Houdini. It's a Houdini trick.
Okay, so they're allowed 30 seconds in this booth, and then we turn the fan on. I'll have to step back here to do this.
Okay. And he disappears.
And as you can see, there's money, there's gift certificates, prizes, and everything inside this thing. Their job is to catch as much as they can within 30 seconds. We've given away like 16 items per session, so there's been people walking around out with some great prizes.
How often does this go on during the trade show?
Every 45 minutes to an hour. So the people just love it too, you know.
Do they just line up here? And
no, actually, their name is drawn from the ballot box. That upon entering the gate, they fill out the entry form. They're eligible to enter the booth, and then tomorrow at 6 we have the draw for the TV and the Weed Eater as well. So they're eligible for all of this.
Okay, how many do you expect, how many people, crowd capacity do you expect this year?
Well, I've been walking around, and a few of the exhibitors said that this has been a really good turnout for Friday evening. And I expect to have at least 5,000. Last year it was about 4,200. Looks like this year we're going to top 5,000.
Wow, that's excellent. Some of the main features, obviously this is a main feature, this is an awesome thing. The other main feature that I've noticed was the sumo wrestling. That seems to be a real hit this year.
Yeah, that's organized by the Creston Valley Insurance. It's the 35th anniversary, so in lieu of that, they're celebrating by setting up the sumo wrestling. All the proceeds go to the library, the new library that we're building. So it's all for a good cause. They organize sponsors for it, and as well, the public is allowed to take part for, I think it's a $2 or $3 drop-in fee, and beat up their friends and foes. So.
Okay, now this is the first year that this used to be called the Trade Fair at one time. It used to be called the Home and Garden Show, and now this year it is called 1999 Trade Show. Why the name change?
I just wanted to get it as general as possible. I just wanted, there's a lot of the exhibitors here are really nothing to do with home or garden. There's just, so I wanted to kind of steer away from that, get it as general and as broad as possible. So hence the name change.
Boy, our poor guy in there. Is it cold?
I'm not sure. You might be pocketing our $5 bills, so I'll just let him.
Okay. How did you do? How did it feel in there?
Windy.
Windy? No.
There's money there.
Okay, Ed, this is Creston's 7th annual trade show?
Yes, it is. And hopefully next year's will be bigger and better. We're certainly going to have this back because it's a hit. And hopefully some new and exciting things for next year.
Okay, and the theme this year is just a big show-off. And who came up with that name, or that theme?
Actually, I did. I thought it was a great theme because these people are here to show off, in a sense, and I wanted to put that across to them, and just a big show-off is exactly what it is.
Well, you've done an excellent job coordinating all of this. This must have been months and months and months of work for you.
Yes, it was. It was actually 4 months, and now it's all paying off. So.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been great. You know, the coverage today that we've been going around to different booths, and the entries here, they're just great. It's been a very interesting trade show this year.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, and congratulations for a real hit.
Good. Thank you very much.